Hey, I'm Preston Hardy. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to video number 2 in the series of how to lose weight and keep it off for good. Today in this video, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my own personal journey and what I went through to lose the weight that I lost when I had let myself go and get out of shape, and also where I'm at now. What you need to know is this is not just a theory, or this is not just something that I've studied online. I have applied this in my own life, and I have used exactly the strategies and things that I talk about and that I'm going to share with you in this video and upcoming videos to have success, to easily and effortlessly keep the weight off. If you only knew that if you would just listen and follow these simple things, that you could stop spinning your wheels and you would achieve success. You're going to listen to these things because I think you're at the end of your rope. Now, I have cleared my calendar, as you can see back here. I've cleared my entire calendar to share these things and talk about these things right now in this very moment. I came to a point where let me back up. I've always been into personal fitness. I've always been into health and fitness. I had plans at a very young age. When I was in middle school, I had plans to join the military. And if you knew me back then, you would know that I was obsessed with training and physical fitness. And those were my plans. Recon. Anybody that knows me, there's a few handful of guys that know me when I say that. When I say recon, they're gonna know what that means. But I was very obsessed with the military. So luckily this gave me a mindset to be very active and to be healthy and be physically fit. Now, I gained a black belt in American Taekwondo by the time that I was 16. Yeah, 16 from, I started studying when I was around 13, and I remember being awarded my black belt at the age of 16. Now at that time, and today, that's an accomplishment. I don't care what martial art you like or don't like. That's an accomplishment, at least in physical fitness. So I'm just giving you some background to let you know how serious I was. And I believe you me, I was training. I wasn't training just to learn martial arts. I can't even say on YouTube what I was training to use this for, but I was going to join the Marine Corps. At that time, it was called Force Recon. Now I believe they call them MARSOC. But anyway, I decided I wanted to live and have a family one day. So I didn't end up doing that, but that gave me a background in having habits of health and fitness. Fast forward into my 20s, and I kept that into my 30s. I started probably when I was around 25 or 26. It was the first time I became a member of a gym. So I've had this, I've worked out for years and years, and for the most part, I've stayed physically active. There came a point in my life, in my early 40s, not all that terribly long ago, that I decided for whatever reason I was just done with it. I think it was around the time that I grew my mountain man beard. Like, this is just a nice, a little bit more than a 5 o'clock shadow beard here. This is just what I call a sexy beard, nice and sexy, for all you ladies out there. All right, I know that I'm full of it. But anyway, I digress. I think it was around the time I grew my mountain man beard, and I decided, to heck with it. I'm just going to let myself go for a year or two, not worry about what I eat, not care, not do any exercise. I wasn't interested in doing nothing that was strenuous. And I did let myself go, and I got up into the weight range of around, it was 230 something, and it was not a healthy 230 something. You can see right here on this poster board, you can see my face right here. You can see my cheeks and my face. Can't see my whole body, but you can see how I definitely was overweight and out of shape and not healthy. And here you can see, just like on the audio CD that I created, this was me dropping down to around 165. I lost a total of around 70 pounds of body fat. And I was teaching these health and fitness seminars, and so I knew that, hey, if you were going to listen to anything that I had to say, that you had to see that I halfway knew what I was talking about. Now, that was all about 6 years ago. Well, now I never did quit. Did you? Did you quit? I never stopped. Even though I wasn't teaching any of this stuff or sharing it with anyone, I never stopped. I never stopped going to the gym, even during COVID. I had a cool gym owner during the whole COVID thing, and there was a handful of us that used to go and work out at 4:30 in the morning, and he would just let us go because there was nobody else basically in the gym but maybe a couple of other people. So even during COVID, I didn't stop. So I've applied all these techniques and strategies. Now I have a different body type. Now I am back in the 200-pound range, but I've put on a lot more muscle. Like I said, I'm not a fitness model. I'm not a bodybuilder, but I can assure you I still have relatively low body fat. Now, sometimes when I eat a lot at the buffets and stuff, I'll admit it'll kind of look like I swallowed a soccer ball. And that's okay, because I still have relatively low body fat for sure. But that's a little bit about my journey. I decided, like I said, I let myself go. I got to back up and tell you what happened. I decided to let myself go, and I gained all that weight. I wish I had a picture that I could put. I should have put up here a picture of my incredible mountain man beard, but maybe I'll do that another time. Well, one day, finally, after, I got to the point where I couldn't breathe hardly. And I remember bending down. I was sitting on my couch, and I'm going to have to reenact this for you. I bent down to tie my shoes, and I would have to bend down, and I would be trying to grab my shoelaces, and I couldn't hardly breathe, and I'd have to come up for air. I kid you not, it was as if that I was gonna go underwater, and like, how you practice holding your breath underwater. I would have to take a deep breath and go back down and try to tie my shoelaces. And I thought, you know what, this is ridiculous. Now, this was coming from a guy that had stayed physically fit most of those years. And I was like, you know what, this is ridiculous. I'm tired of not being able to breathe. I'm tired of walking around feeling like I was carrying heavy, just extra weight on me. Just not feeling lean and agile whatsoever. And that was my enough is enough moment. And that's what I'm telling you. Have you reached your moment where enough is enough? You may complain about it. You may look in the mirror and be unhappy. And you may complain to me. You may complain to the people around you. And you talk about it, but have you reached that point where enough is enough? That's it. That's it. I'm making a change. I'm tired of it. I've had enough. So if you've had enough, that's the point that I reached. And then I began to take matters into my own hands. I began to do something about it. The first thing I did was join the gym. And I studied a lot about fitness. I got back into the gym. I mean, I wasn't a new person in the gym and to doing workouts and that type of thing, and even cardio. But I'll tell you what was new to me was the nutrition. And I know what many of you are doing right now. Some of you are actually good at getting your exercise in, whether it's running or going to the gym, walking on the Stairmaster, lifting weights, whatever. Some of you are probably doing pretty good at that. and you wonder, you don't know why you're not seeing the results you want as far as the weight loss goes. Well, in the next video, I'm gonna talk about, in video number 3 coming up, I'm gonna talk about why you don't have to exercise to lose weight. Let me repeat that again. You do not have to exercise to lose weight. But I recommend exercising, of course. But you don't even have to do it to lose weight. And I'm going to talk about why. So I began to try a lot of these different, as I was working out, exercising, I began to try a lot of these different fad diets at the time. And you've heard of all of them. You may have even tried all of them. Low carb diet, no carb diet, keto diet, all of these diets. I think the only one I didn't try was carnivore, and I definitely ain't tried no vegetarian, no offense, but I like to eat my red meat and chicken, pork. Don't get me started. I told you in the first video, I absolutely love food and I love to eat. I love to grill. Now I'm getting hungry. But I digress. So I tried all these diets, and some of them I lost a little bit of weight on, of course. But then it got to the point where life was so, oh my gosh, it was so depressing. Have you ever tried those crazy fad diets and you have to give up everything you absolutely love? You have to eat like a robot. Just like, I mean, I promise you, I have been on it to where I ate nothing but grilled chicken and vegetables, broccoli, green beans. Now that's eating like a competitive bodybuilder. And I figured out, there's a reason they have an on and an off season. If you see them in the gym when they're not competing, they gain a lot of weight back because they're in what they call a bulking phase. They're building back up. Even they don't sustain that as a lifestyle year round at all. And I want you to know the difference. The difference of what I'm talking about and what I'm teaching is something, this is not for competition. And this is for sustaining. And when you lose the weight, you want to be able to know how to keep it off. And in an effortless way, something that is not complete torture. And that's what it was with me. I had even tried the whole packing your Tupperware, cooking meals in advance. And coming from someone who loves food as much as I do and loves the buffets, I'm telling you, that was a nightmare for me. And I realized, I was like, my gosh, I can't do this. I mean, I'm just going to have to be freaking overweight. If I have to give up all these foods that I love so much, I'm just going to have to be overweight. And then I continued to study. Thank goodness for YouTube. Let's give a round of applause. Because I tell you, that's where I learned a ton of the stuff that I learned. And I stumbled on something that I'm going to talk about later called intermittent fasting. But long story short, I learned about that, and I learned about the calorie deficit and how important that is and how that is absolute king. Calorie deficit is absolute, the be all end all, and I'm going to teach you why, and I'm going to stress why. Now I want to remind you, I went from around 270 here, I dropped down to 165. Now that's when I weighed 165 when I graduated high school. Now I don't want to be that lean again, because even when I graduated high school, I didn't have a whole lot of muscle on my frame. I was lean and wiry. You better watch out back then. I was wiry, lean. I had those ninja skills. I could climb up trees with my Marine Corps K-bar knife in my mouth and like jump over fences like a cat without even touching a chain link fence. I could just leap over it. I digress. But what I'm telling you is, I feel like this is a better weight for me. Got more muscle packed on. I wouldn't want to be at 165 now because I wouldn't have as much muscle on my frame. And when you do have, for you guys out there, when you do put on more muscle, you actually can consume more calories to maintain that. In other words, if you're skinny, you have to eat less calories to maintain your physique and your body level if you're at a point where you like where you're at. So the more muscle mass you have on your body, and I mean that goes for women too, the more calories you can enjoy because it burns a lot of calories keeping that muscle on your body. But we'll go all into some, more of that later on. But I wanted you to hear about my journey, to see these pictures from obese, more of an obese me to a leaner me. And for you women out there, I mean, if you want to drop down to your weight when you were in high school, it probably sounds impossible, but I'll guarantee you can do it if you really want to, but you probably don't want to. You probably would look better if you weighed maybe 130, 140 in high school. When you get on up in your 40s even, I mean, you're probably going to look a little better around 150 or 160, but it all depends on your body type. But I'm just pointing out that there's no limit to if you want to weigh a certain amount on the scale, you can absolutely do it with the strategies that I'm talking about. I've got my cheat sheet right here. I wanted to make sure I didn't leave anything out here, that I wanted to cover all the things that I wanted to cover. Yeah, one last thing that I want to talk about is that the strategies I'm going to be discussing in upcoming videos is something that you don't even have to be perfect in, but you have to be consistent in. If you took a weekly average, or even 2 weeks or 3 weeks, as those compound, have you had better days? Did you hit your calorie goals those days, more of those days than less? Did you hit your goals way more days than you didn't hit them? So you don't even have to be perfect. And we'll talk a little bit more about, why that is as well. But I'll guarantee you, I know for a fact this is something that you can do. So stick with me here. This is video number 2. If you've stuck with me this long, hit the like and subscribe button. Follow me. Follow this series. In video number 3, we're going to talk about why you don't have to work out to lose weight, but why I recommend it. And I've had total success. You can definitely lose weight faster by working out, but it's not even necessary to exercise. I don't want you to be one of those that loses weight without exercising, but I just want to show you, especially those of you who already exercise and have good habits, this is going to help explain to you, well, I'm working out, I'm exercising, why am I not seeing the results I want? I've got good habits of exercising. This is going to help you understand why you may not be reaching your goals, and why the whole nutrition, the aspect of the nutrition is way more important, way more critical when it comes to weight loss and fat loss. But I'll see you in video number 3. I'm going to leave you with some tough love. Are you tired of spinning your wheels? Is it time? Did you have your enough moment? Are you sick of it? Well, then do something about it. Nobody did this for you. Nobody got you here but yourself. You cannot blame anyone else but yourself. You can do this. Now, it's up to you. Now get off your ass and do something about it. And I'll see you in video number 3. Peace.